Welcome to Numismatics Hub, your ultimate destination for fascinating stories, rare coin discoveries, and all things numismatics. Join us as we explore the world of currency and uncover hidden treasures one coin at a time. The year was 1984, and the world was buzzing with the electric hum of the 80s. Ronald Reagan was in his second term as president, the Cold War was still a very real concern, and in the world of American currency, a seemingly ordinary coin was about to make history. But at first glance, who could have known? The 1984 5-cent penny wasn't particularly flashy, nor was it anything that drew attention at the time. In fact, it's a coin that many collectors overlooked, missing the extraordinary value that would one day follow SO. Let's travel back to 1984 for a moment and see the world through the lens of the American public. The 1984 D nickel, yes, that unassuming 5-cent piece, was just one in a long line of similar coins circulating in everyday transactions. But as it turns out, this specific year would become one of the most sought after in the history of numismatics. What made this penny so special, though? Let's start with the basics. The year 1984 saw the continuation of the iconic Jefferson nickel series, a design that had been in place since 1938. Designed by the famed artist Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel was a tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, a founding father, and the author of the Declaration of Independence. The design had endured through the decades, but the 1984 D penny, as we know it, is unique in ways that most people wouldn't even consider. Now, if you were to examine a typical 1984 D penny closely, it would appear at first glance to be nothing out of the ordinary. It features the well-known design of Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, as well as a depiction of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The coin is composed of a blend of copper and nickel, just like its predecessors. But it's the details that make this seemingly regular coin extraordinary. Some call it the mint error penny, and that's because in this particular year, the United States Mint made an unusual mistake. Mint errors are not exactly rare, but they are often more subtle and harder to spot. In the case of the 1984 D penny, there was a striking error on some of the coins that would end up being immensely valuable. A small fraction of these coins were produced with a doubling effect on the date, creating a rare and highly collectible variety. It wasn't the kind of thing that the average person would notice when they went to pay for their cup of coffee, but for the trained eye of a numismatist, it was a huge deal. In those early years, the coin went largely unnoticed. However, as time went on, collectors began to notice the rare coins. The mistakes were subtle but visible to anyone who knew where to look. The doubling on the date could be seen clearly under magnification, and this small minting error would prove to be the key to its future value. Before we dive deeper into the story of its value, let's take a moment to explore the world of coin collecting. The world of numismatics can be fascinating, filled with rare treasures hidden in plain sight. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that possess unique qualities or features. Some coins become legendary for their historical significance, while others are valued for their rarity. A simple mistake during minting, like the doubling of the date on a coin, can turn a coin from a common, circulating piece of currency into a rare gem worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Now, let's fast forward a few years. As the 1980s progressed and coin collectors began to discover the unique error of the 1984 D penny, demand for the coin grew. Coin dealers began to pay close attention to this previously overlooked minting error, and what was once a 5-cent coin in the pocket of the average American citizen was soon seen as a hidden treasure. So, what happened next? Well, the value of the 1984 D penny began to rise dramatically. As collectors scrambled to find these rare errors, prices skyrocketed. In fact, some coins began to fetch prices that far exceeded their nominal value. At first, it was just a small group of dedicated collectors, but soon the discovery of this mint error was in the mainstream. The 1984 D penny, with its subtle yet distinct doubling effect on the date, was now a coveted item. But even with the growing interest in the 1984 D penny, many collectors were still unaware of the true potential of this coin. It wasn't until later that the most famous example of the 1984 D penny surfaced, an example that would go on to make history and become a legend in the coin collecting world in 2008. A coin surfaced that had the perfect combination of characteristics to make it an exceptional specimen of the 1984 D penny. This coin, which featured the distinct double die error, was submitted to the prestigious grading service, the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. After undergoing rigorous examination, it was graded as MS-67, a grade indicating that it was in nearly perfect condition. The coin had a sharp doubling effect on the date, clear details, and virtually no imperfections. It was a coin that any serious collector would want to own. And then came the bombshell. That coin, one of the finest examples of the 1984 D penny with a double die error, sold for a staggering $120,000 at a major auction. Yes, you heard that right, $120,000. What was once a humble 5-cent coin from 1984 had now transformed into a rare and valuable treasure. The sale of this coin changed the way collectors and the general public viewed the 1984 D penny, and it catapulted this particular mint error into the spotlight. But what makes this coin so valuable? After all, we're talking about a coin worth only 5 cents in 1984, and a minting error that many people wouldn't have given a second glance. The answer lies in the rarity and condition of the coin. While it may seem like a small thing, the doubling effect on the date is a very rare and very specific error. And when you combine that with a coin in pristine condition, it becomes something truly special in the world of numismatics. This 1984 D penny is now considered a classic example of how a small mistake at the mint can lead to something incredible. And that's the magic of coin collecting. Sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones that slip through the cracks. So, the next time you're rummaging through your spare change, keep an eye out. You never know, you might just find a hidden treasure worth more than you could imagine. In conclusion, the 1984 D penny is much more than just a coin from a bygone year. It's a testament to the unexpected and sometimes bizarre way that history unfolds. What was once a simple, everyday object has now become a coveted relic worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can have the greatest impact. And who knows? The next time you're checking your change, you might just find yourself holding a small piece of history that could make you a small fortune. So, keep looking closely. Who knows what treasures might be hiding in plain sight? Now, let's reflect on what makes the 1984 D penny's tale so compelling. It's not just about the value, though, of course, $120,000 is an impressive figure for a 5-cent coin. It's about how the world of coin collecting is filled with mystery, chance, and sometimes a bit of luck. While the coin's journey from a mint error to a highly sought-after piece of numismatic history is fascinating, it also serves as a reminder of how closely tied our history is to the smallest of details. Many people may not even know what a mint error is, much less understand how one tiny oversight could make a coin go from worth practically nothing to becoming a prized possession. These errors are typically born of mistakes during the minting process, whether it's an improperly aligned die, a double strike, a flaw in the planchet, or in this case, the doubling of the date. When these errors occur, they're often unnoticed at first, as most coins are indistinguishable from their peers. But for collectors, those small mistakes are the things that send them scrambling in search of treasure. It's like finding an old book that's been misprinted, or a painting that contains a small imperfection. Sometimes those imperfections are exactly what gives something its value. The 1984 D penny became a symbol of how even an unremarkable piece of currency could become an object of fascination and desire. But how exactly did the doubling error happen? It's worth delving into the minting process to understand. The United States Mint operates like a well-oiled machine, and for the most part, its processes are precise and efficient. But occasionally, things can go wrong. During the minting of the 1984 D pennies, an issue arose when the dies that were used to strike the coin were improperly aligned. This misalignment led to a doubling effect on the numbers of the date, making them appear as if they were struck twice. The result was a coin that, to the naked eye, looked like a normal penny until you knew what to look for. And that's the key. Coin collectors are a dedicated bunch. They spend years studying the nuances of mint marks, design variations, and errors. A small mistake in the minting process could easily turn into an enormous find for someone who's been paying attention. While the 1984 D penny may have been just another coin in circulation for most people, collectors recognized its potential immediately. It's important to note, though, that not every 1984 D penny is a valuable collectible. In fact, only a small portion of the coins produced that year were affected by this error. So, Just because you find a 1984 D penny in your change doesn't mean you've struck gold. The true value of these coins comes from the combination of their rarity, their minting error, and their condition. To fetch such a high price at auction, the coin needs to have clear doubling of the date and be in nearly perfect condition, something that requires a discerning eye and a bit of luck to discover. The 1984 D penny story goes beyond just collectors, though. It's become a piece of numismatic folklore. Stories of how people have found these rare coins tucked away in their change jars, or how they've come across them in a drawer of old coins, have circulated in the numismatic community. The excitement surrounding the discovery of these coins only adds to their allure. It's almost as if the 1984 D penny is a secret waiting to be uncovered, a treasure hidden in plain sight. For the casual observer, it may be hard to imagine that something as simple as a penny, something that gets tossed around in pocket change or quickly discarded, could carry such immense value. But in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest and most humble of coins can carry great significance. The 1984 D penny is a reminder that there's often more to things than meets the eye. A coin that was once brushed off as ordinary is now a symbol of the surprises that history sometimes has in store. And so, as collectors and enthusiasts continue to search for the rare 1984 D pennies with the double die error, the legacy of this coin continues to grow. For those who do manage to find one of these rare pieces, there's no doubt they'll feel the thrill of discovery. For others, the hunt will go on. And, for all of us, the story of the 1984 D penny is a perfect example of how, in the world of coins, sometimes the most remarkable treasures are the ones we least expect. To wrap things up, the 1984 D penny, with its subtle mint error, may have started life as just another regular coin circulating unnoticed like so many others. But its journey from humble penny to $120,000 gem is a testament to the unpredictable and often serendipitous nature of the numismatic world. And while not every coin you find will fetch such a fortune, the 1984 D penny proves that sometimes, just sometimes, you'll find something far more valuable than you could have ever imagined. So, the next time you dig through your change or find an old jar of pennies sitting around, don't be so quick to dismiss it. It may just be the start of your own journey into the fascinating world of coin collecting. And who knows, you might just stumble upon your own rare treasure hidden in plain sight. As we continue to delve into the story of the 1984 D penny, it's important to consider the broader impact this coin has had on both collectors and the general public. What started as a simple error now serves as a lesson in how seemingly small details can shift an entire industry. The story of this coin isn't just about an incredible mistake made at the mint. It's about a shift in how we, as a society, value objects, especially ones tied to our cultural and economic history. And it all started with this tiny, unassuming nickel-sized coin. For coin collectors, the 1984 D penny has transcended its humble beginnings. It has become an emblem of the intricacies of coin collecting, how something as seemingly mundane as a penny, discarded and taken for granted by so many, can hold immense worth to the dedicated collector. It reminds us of how the world of numismatics can be both meticulous and full of surprises. Coins often tell us more than just a story about a year or a design. They hold echoes of the time and place in which they were minted, bearing the fingerprints of history itself. For those of us who are not avid collectors, it's hard to understand just how a coin like the 1984 D penny could go from a random 5-cent piece to one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. To most, a penny is just something you find in the couch cushions or discard without a second thought. But in the numismatic community, every coin is a potential discovery, and that penny you toss aside could be the next big find. Coin collecting is often compared to treasure hunting, but it's not just about finding the biggest monetary value. It's about understanding the story behind the coin. The story of the 1984 D penny is not only about the rare mistake, but also about the culture and economy of the time. In 1984, the United States was in a period of political stability with Reagan's re-election, a time of steady economic growth. The country was moving forward, and so were its coins, these small pieces of currency that, over time, become markers of history. This makes the discovery of a mint error like the 1984 D penny feel like a moment frozen in time, a blip in the machine of history that's now forever significant. What makes it even more exciting for modern collectors is the way in which technology has advanced the art of coin collecting. Grading services like the PCGS or NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation have made it possible for collectors to have their coins graded by professionals. This brings an added layer of credibility and market value to a coin, making it easier to buy, sell, or trade with confidence. In fact, the 1984 D penny's rise to fame wouldn't have been possible without this more professional and organized approach to coin collection. Grading, which is the process of evaluating a coin's quality and condition, plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. A 1984 D penny with the doubling error could be worth $120,000 if it's in pristine, near-perfect condition, but a coin with noticeable wear or imperfections might only fetch a fraction of that price. The grading system is key for any serious collector, and it has brought the world of coins into a new era of transparency and trust. Coins are no longer just bought and sold based on rarity, they're graded based on condition, adding an entire layer of value that was previously absent. But the 1984 D penny isn't just a lesson in the world of coins. It's a valuable reminder of how history works. Sometimes the most significant events are the ones we least expect. The world of coin collecting is one of those arenas where the past and present collide. A simple mistake at the mint in 1984 became the catalyst for a new wave of excitement in numismatics. It's proof that history is often full of surprises, and every small error, every overlooked detail, can create ripple effects that echo across time. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1984 D penny is that it also has become a collector's item for those who are into the story behind the coin, not just the coin itself. These collectors want to be part of the lore surrounding the 1984 D penny. They want to be the ones who unearthed this hidden gem from the annals of American currency history. For these collectors, it's not just about the monetary value, the story is just as important as the coin itself. Another element that continues to keep the 1984 D penny in the spotlight is how iconic coins like it drive the entire coin collecting market forward. The search for rare errors and valuable pieces has led to more people becoming interested in numismatics. This sudden spike in interest over the years has also sparked a new generation of coin collectors, some of whom are finding coins of their own that may one day make headlines. The 1984 D penny, in its own quiet way, has become a rallying point for a whole new wave of collectors, people who weren't around when the era first happened, but who are now part of a growing movement to uncover coins of similar rarity and historical significance. And that's what's so exciting about coin collecting. It's a journey. It's a treasure hunt. Every coin has its own story to tell, and you never know what you might uncover when you least expect it. Just like the 1984 D penny, you may have something valuable hiding right under your nose. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the thrill of the chase is a feeling like no other. You never know when you might find your own $120,000 penny sitting in your collection, waiting to make your coin collecting dreams come true. As you continue your journey into the world of numismatics, remember that value is not just determined by the coin's age or rarity, it's determined by the stories that are associated with it. The 1984 D penny isn't just a coin. It's a story, a discovery, and a reminder that sometimes, in the most unlikely of places, there are treasures waiting to be found. So, the next time you take a look at your change, remember, a penny saved might just be a penny worth $120,000.